Hey, what's going on?
Hey, hey, what's up, man? What's up? I'm just actually about to go live in the group.
Oh, okay, great,
What's
perfect.
up? You,
Perfect.
what do
Well,
you got?
actually had a quick question for you before we you went live and did all that. I'm kind of having an issue trying to identify valid order blocks and just wanted your opinion on what actually like is it like what makes up an order block? Like, is it usually one candle or is it a set of candles or how does that work?
Oh my God. Okay. An order block. Oh yeah. Okay. You know what? Order block. Yeah. Okay. So I got to go to this live. Okay. So let me ask you here. I got to get a drink real quick. So you go ahead and tell me what an order block is. I'm gonna go get a drink while you do that, and tell me what an order block is. Okay. So I got to get a drink for the live. Go ahead.
All right, cool. Well, I guess I think an order block, I guess, might be like maybe the last candle before a move towards a run towards a liquidity, like the last.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. What was it? I'm back. Sorry. I did my drink. Were you talking to me?
Nope. Uh, Talking at you.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Don't get that attitude now. Okay. So what are you saying now? So you're saying some order block was, what is it? It's an order block. So what is it?
Well, I mean, when I look it up by
Okay, another
definition,
drink.
all I see is that it's the last up close candle, on a move down, and then, for the other way, it's the last down close candle on a move up.
No, 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 no. You're all wrong. You're all wrong, buddy. No, no. I don't know where you got that from. That's absolutely wrong. That's not how you do anything with an order block. No.
Oh, shit. Well then, I guess
Okay, so that
I've been using order blocks or identifying them totally wrong.
YouTube. You've been using YouTube too much. That's what's up. You've been watching too much ICT. Man, it's a lie. He's a liar. He is not a real trader. He does not know what an order block is. Okay, he came to the right place. Okay, to learn about an order block. But too bad, I got to go live.
Right. I bring. I mean, I bring you the Lost Edge with Nancy, Wu-Time, and the Edge community guest. Let's redo that one real quick, Nancy.
Yeah. So I guess I'll just explain real quick what a order block is, since you have no fucking clue what it is. So you have a. Let me just draw it real quick because that's easier for everybody to understand. A lot of times. So let's start off with. Well, let's just start off with a chart. Price goes up, price goes down, price goes up, price goes down, price goes up. Pretty cool there. So what is this? This is a liquidity grab right there, and then right here. So and then up here, this is a intermediate high right there, and so this region before that, quote unquote, break of structure or change of state delivery, this region, I'm thinking here, right here is the order block. Right here, this whole region. It's a series. Technically, it's technically a change in state delivery. A lot of people don't understand that a change in state delivery. It's actually like a region. So a lot of people, they say it's it's an actual point. It's not. It's a region, and it's an area where the smart money pretty much changes the state of the delivery of price. But a order block technically it's the last series. So it's not just one. It's not just one candle. It's the last series, but it can be one last series of candles before whether it's up close. So let's say price, your main price is delivering or manipulating to the buy side. So they're bullish candles. So they're up close candles. Well, it's a series, or it can be a single one, of down close candles right before the liquidity grab, and then the break of structure. So, for example, right here, so it's the last series. So, 5 minutes, relatively series right there. We both wicks. There you go. Just consider that the order block. What this is, okay? So the now, if you zoom in, and this is the thing. So if you zoom into this block right here, you'll be able to tell if it's an order block or not. Why? Because an order block, all it is when you zoom in, highly zoom in, is it's just accumulation. So if we zoom into the 1 minute time frame, if I can get this to work out, 1 minute time frame, right here, and all this is right before the movement down. This is just accumulation right here. Accumulation, reprices, accumulation, and then it spikes up. Okay, so if you go to the higher time frame, you find an order block, you can really see it. But that's all it is. It's just accumulation before the big move. What is it doing? What it's doing is it's institutional players are placing placing orders before the big move. That's essentially what they're doing. So like right here, I mean, there's so many order blocks everywhere. We could do this right here. So, use a series of close candles. So right there, okay, and now technically, where the orders are placed are primarily in the bodies. Now, when I trade, though, I like to include the wicks, but use the wicks to do damage. But to show the visual, every 1 minute. We can get there. We can get there. We can't get there. Oh, we're an aster too. So I'll get there real quick. But yeah, that's what it is. It's where institutions place their orders to prepare for the large movement upwards. And what we do with it is you just use it as a springboard per se. But anyway, that's what an order block is. Let me go ahead and bring it up on the bigger screen here. Right here, and this is a huge movement upwards. So it'd be good to be able to catch those movements. Right there, institutional movements, 3 minute, 1 minute, reset. Okay, so right here, you look closely. What does this do? All it's doing is it's accumulating. That's all it's doing. It's staying in that range. It's accumulating. All of a sudden, it breaks below and then goes up. So essentially, this is accumulation, manipulation, and then up top is the delivery and distribution. And what that is doing is it's just accumulating. So it's part of the AMD process. So that's what an order block is. It's just an accumulation on the part of the AMD cycle. So exactly what is a order block? Well, that's exactly what it is. It's the last series of up or down close candles that's and is violated by a close above or below, and that's causes the break of structure or the market structure shifts. But in total, the whole entire thing, it's smart money changing the state of delivery. So that's what it's doing.
Oh wow. Okay.
Some people think it's just some people like you. I mean, you think it's just one candle, but it's not just one candle. It's not just one candle. If you come to higher time frame, yeah, sure, you can call it. It's just one candle. But you go down and you realize what it is. Once you realize what it is, it's just accumulation. That's all it is.
Wow. Okay. So I definitely didn't see it like that. But I mean, you already know. That's why I'm calling you.
Yeah. All right. So this is a great talk. Did you write that down?
I'm actually currently writing it down. But if that's
There's a lot of
there,
big
there was
words
many
there.
big
A lot of
words,
big
many
words.
big words. But my question on top of
Yeah.
that is now like, well, you know, how do you know, because there's a lot of moves that go up and and they go down and, trying to find that series of candles. How do I know, like, if for example, with, the entry system that you went over with live, how would I identify one to be used as, I see price closing over it and then it revisits it. So would you say that maybe an order block has more than one function? Like maybe it could be used once price is already revisited. Does that basically wipe out that order block from like any framework, or do we still utilize that in any way?
Um, are you asking like what makes a order block valid or?
Yeah, exactly. Like what would make it so that way I could, because I see that, in our SMT, market
Okay.
structure shift,
Okay.
system.
Okay. 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 Shut up. Shut up. I gotta do this live. True North is gonna be so pissed off at me. Okay. I'm late. Okay. So here you go. So this is the time. Okay. So my screen here, see it? Okay. So and these are meme coins, by the way, guys. These are meme coins. This is ICP meme coins. We're finding order blocks on meme coins. So right now we're in the 1 hour time frame. Let's go to the 4 hours, see what we get here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. So 4 hour. What we're gonna do is we're gonna trade this top. I'll show you how to trade this top. Okay, so play here, continue to start new. We're going to start new. Right, you're just going to do right here. And then how do you know? How do you know? Okay, so I'm going to trade that right there. So let's go down to at the right market. So this is the top. This is where to trade here. And let's go down to the 1 hour. Okay, so what you want to see with a order block is you want to see as far as is one effective or not, or if it's a valid one, or what's a strong one or not. Is what you want to see is you want to see obviously a series of the opposite direction, so a series of up close candles, but you want to see that your directional bias is in line with the movement. So when you would evaluate a order block is after it's formed. So like right here, you would evaluate an order block. So, right, it's not something you can do ahead of time. Like a lot of stuff that I teach is that you can do it ahead of time, but you have to wait for an order block to be formed, and then you can evaluate it. So, what do we know? We know that this is a key level here. Right here is a key level. Okay, so that's important. That means the bias after this relatively is down. So you got the direction down. The higher time frame direction is correct. Okay, so what else do you need? What else you need is you need a fair value gap. You need displacement downwards, which means a fair value gap. So that really amplifies the power of the order block. So, and that order block needs to be ideally be more powerful SMT before liquidity grab, and with a clean fair value gap right adjacent to it. And that really is important. In addition, one other thing that many people don't talk about is this fair value gap right here. Even like makes it super powerful is the fair value gap that is formed. Is fine if it's mitigated. It's formed before the order block. So you want one before, one after, liquidity grab, SMT, and you want that displacement, okay? And what that tells you is that is a strong order block, and that it is going to definitely is a strong order block, and that it's going to break the MSS, market structure shift, and that's going to create, like I said, this is a change of state of delivery. For it to change the state of delivery, it needs to go through the market structure shift, and so yeah, it has to. So as a result, you need fair value gap there. Those make them stronger. If you aren't in line with the higher time frame bias, what the hell are you doing? Okay, if there's no fair value gap after the order block, it's not valid. If you don't have a liquidity sweep that the order block goes into, it's not valid. If you don't have a fair value gap before the order block or just adjacent to it, you have a weak order block. If everything else is perfect, if you have an SMT and everything else is there, you have a super strong one. If you don't have an SMT and you have everything else there to a T that I mentioned, which you're not going to because you didn't write it down, then it is a okay order block. Okay, but not high confluence. You need all those written down. All those written down, all those correct. Fair value gap. You need the up series of close candles that's right before, and you need that liquidity grab. And in addition, you definitely need that fair value gap. This one makes it extra strong. And yeah, so that's essentially displacement downwards. That's what you need. So yeah, there's lots of things that make it. So there's lots of things that make it powerful.
Okay, well, great. That's so helpful. So if
Oh gosh, I forgot one thing. Oh my gosh. They're gonna hurt me if I don't say this. The people that are gonna just like look this up online, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, he didn't mention this." I get all those hate mails. Okay, so if you're in this time frame, you got to make sure that if you're shorting, you have to make sure that this is in a premium. Okay, so the way you can tell that is right here. Right at the start, you can just do it here since we're in the 1 hour. Let's go down to the 15-minute more like. That is more of a trader's thing. Okay, here. So let me do the range. Complete range here. Perfect. Okay. Range here, and then measure here. Okay, so the order block is in the premium zone, and that's where you want to be for shorting. So there's another confluence of it being valid. Yep, that's perfect. This is in the lower part, the discount. So that's a perfect TP. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, so does it mean anything when price closes over an order block? Does that inverse it, kind of like an inverse fair value gap, or does it just stay as an order block that, we can expect to use like as a springboard? Or is that invalidating it, and maybe does it flip it if price goes over it, or how do we treat that?
Okay. These are stupid questions. Who writes these questions? This is horrible. Really waste my time. Okay, so well, if the price goes beyond the order block, you better have your TP beyond the order block. All right, but sometimes it does. Sometimes price does trade above or below the order block, and when that happens, it's not invalid. It's just repriced. Okay, so you got to think about what the order block is. Okay, and then we have this marked out as the order block. So this is that was the fair value gaps. This is lower time frame. Where was that? Just got upper time frame. Okay, so it gets to repriced. Okay, so if and you got to think about it. Smart money. This is where smart money is sizing up on these orders to go ahead and take advantage to create this short after this liquidity grab. And so now, once you understand those concepts, you understand exactly if it's invalidated or not. Because see, smart money, it doesn't have. It uses the inefficiencies, which we talked about, the fair value gaps, to reprice. Okay, that's what it does. There's no equal highs here. Okay, those aren't even relatively equal highs. They're good amount of distance separated. Smart money will use that as repricing ways too, but it price trades through the order block and creates another displacement in the opposite way. What that means is that there's a shift in dealing range. Okay, and that's actually what you call a breaker block. So if your price that does this price comes down, goes past the 50% up here, that's a breaker block. Okay, so that means that yes, the original one is invalidated, but the actual candle that formed this becomes the breaker. The formed this that right here, this becomes the breaker. The candle that comes up here and breaks it, that becomes the breaker. Okay, so and you would draw a second breaker block. So the actual one, so you draw a second block, which would be the breaker block, which is usually smaller. But Yeah, and it's the same thing. So if price goes through it, it's what we call like a transition or a repricing, and it becomes a breaker block. And pretty much the algorithm just changed the delivery again. So it just changed the delivery upwards because it never actually did it below. So, but normally it doesn't. Normally, what it does, if everything we talked about is valid, you have all those things, then it price should reject from it 50% of it, the constant encroachment. So, yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, well, that just kind of clears up a lot of what was going on because I would see multiple, like in this example, I see multiple down close candles before the move up, and I guess trying to identify which one was the correct one to be, I guess, targeting. Like you said, the series of candles on the lower time frame makes up this, these one or two candles on the higher time frame. So I guess getting more into it, the candles maybe beforehand that are on the lower end, I guess you could say that I see multiple order blocks. And so would the one that's closest to the sweep be the one that you're looking for as like having the most power and, like you said, layering, the fair value gap before it and after it? Is that where our attention should be as opposed to, because like you said, it's a series of candles or can be a series of candles. So, would order blocks on the lower end of this leg be something to almost target or think that price would revisit those areas?
I think I get what you're saying. So you're saying asking which candle is the most powerful. So if you have a hard time order block and then you have a order block that's lower, that's on the lower time frame, okay, and that's going to be multiple candles, and so you're asking which one might be which one would be the strongest. But yeah, so the best thing to do is you want to find the down close candle that creates the impulsive move before the fair value gap. So what you would do is, and it's called the propulsion candle. So the candle that breaks right here, you're here. Okay, this is it. And so the actual candle that would actually cause the break, this one right here, the last one right here, that's the strongest one. That's the strongest one that, because it's breaking structure. Okay, it's grabbing liquidity up there, and that's that's the strongest part of because you have the constant encroachment. That's relatively, you could say, the strongest part of the. This is way simplification, but the strongest part of the order block. Because price does not, the wick can, but the body is not supposed to cross the constant encroachment line. Then it rejects. So it's people consider the propulsion candle, but you'll see it on the 1 minute or 5 minute. You won't see it on the higher time frames. But you want to find your order block on the higher time frames, though. But a lot of times, yeah. So. That's pretty much what it is. It causes that breaker structure.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense because I've been trying to identify valid order blocks to target, and it's just, us traders, we say we back test it, but I swear I will back test this for real. Like, I know I say I back test and I never do, and I always keep coming back to you with more questions. And sometimes they're the same stupid, silly questions. But I promise you, I will back test this time. Maybe.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So if you have an order block, okay, and then you're expecting price to come back and retest it, or do you just enter when price leaves this order block?
So for me right now,
let me give you the options to break it down.
Okay, great.
Go ahead. Okay, yeah. So you like this? You like something like that?
Exactly.
or do you like something, like when price comes and it goes like this? Or what do you like? Do you like to start it, or does price not have to do that? Does price just can just scoot on down here and not have to retest?
I think for
Should you get a retest to the order
I
block?
think for my purpose, I would rather try and get a retest. I think the retest would be the safest way to get in, right?
It depends. Do you want to make money, or do you just want to sit sidelined? It all depends.
Oh, well, I always want to make money.
Oh, of course, yeah. So here's the thing. Okay, so it's you don't always need a retest. Okay. Let's see. To make it real simple, and it depends on the crypto and NQ. It actually depends. But if you have all the confirmations, okay, you have the fair value gap here, you have the displacements, you have the up close candles here, you have the fair value gap here, you had the liquidity sweep here, and then you come down and you don't get the retest. Okay. So that a lot of times what happened is the retest is already priced in. The retest already happened up here on the lower time frame. You can't see it. A lot of times that's what happens, and you can't see it just because it's how the trading view is not that detailed. You just need to be liquid. You need to be ready to make adjustments. If everything is in line, all your confluences, okay, and the candle does not retest to the 50%, the candle body. It doesn't even go in there. It just keeps going. You got to realize, do you have all those confluences? That's why you have to know all those confluences. Okay. When the thing is, you don't wait for the pullback. Okay. That is just a confirmation. But with all these, you don't need it. You don't need a pullback. The mitigation most likely already occurred inside of this displacement. So you don't see the little tiny things. Just like we go from the 1 hour to the 1 minute, there's things that happen in there that we can't see in the 1 hour, and you don't need it. So if the market leaves the imbalance, you should expect it to get rebalanced, but it's already been, a lot of times it gets rebalanced on the lower time frames that you can't see it. So don't expect it. Don't anticipate it. In reality, if it comes, if you're given it, okay. If not, you still wait for the candle close past the break, past the relatively the market structure shift, past the internal low, the intermediate low. So the retest will give you, the thing is, especially during New York AM, you get so much momentum that it doesn't go back and retest. So ideally, sure, it should retest this middle line with the body, sure. But it doesn't have to. It still can be a valid order block. That doesn't. The fact it doesn't do. You think about what an order block is. An order block is when institutions place a lot of orders before the price they reprice. So you know what? That has graphically, it has nothing to do with this retest. They aren't saying, "Oh, I'm going to get a retest of the order block." No, this is just what we do. Our perception is just what we say that we like to see. They don't have nothing to do with, it's just a graphical confirmation. That's all. You don't need it. Okay. All you really need is to know that there's freaking institutional investments here. That's all you need. And they're going short. That's all you need. But if you're a little slow in beginning of trading, sure, you can wait for that retest that comes once every 4 or 5 days. But if you want to trade every day, I would not anticipate or wait for that. Know all these things are in line. You don't need a retest if you have the institutional players already in it. And how do you know that? Fair value gap, sweep of the liquidity, SMT, and then displacement downwards. That's how you know you're at a key level. That's how you know that the institutions place an order there, and you're doing New York AM or London. Okay, otherwise, yeah, but it's already been priced in. It's already been priced in above.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you're right. I guess staying in the higher time frame, we don't see, the little moves that are being made on the lower time frame that are, like you said, the retest is probably happening on that upper wick right there of one of those down closed candles where it comes back up and then it wicks up and then it comes back down to just keep displacing lower and lower.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that was extremely helpful. I mean, I wonder how much backtesting I'll need to do before I feel comfortable with it, but I promise I will backtest. I know I say I always backtest and I really don't, but if I want to start getting profitable, I know I'm going to have to start backtesting this.
Oh, okay. I'm about to get in this live. I don't know what you're rambling about. I really don't. So you're always just rambling about shit that nobody cares about. Are you gonna actually use this information, or am I just waste my time?
Uh, I think that my portfolio is screaming that I need to use this information.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. That'd be a really good idea. Yep. All right, man.
All right, well, I will see you on the live with True North.
Well, no, I'm gonna make it so there's only two available spots because I don't want any distractions.
Ah, yes, I see. It's what everyone tells me. I'm just a big distraction. God, sound like my mother.
Yeah, well, tell her I love her too. By the way.
Oh wait, how do you?
Oh, she's messaging me right now. I gotta go.
Oh, how the fuck does he know my mom?